morning. It is afternoon here with Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody. And this is a chart of Bitcoin. It sold off quite a bit after rising to 61,000, found its footing and is now trying to rise again. So that is a story with Bitcoin. Let us go to our word of the day. A word of the day is that honor, reputation, or prestige. The long-lasting diplomatic relationship has a great deal of IZZAT on both sides. So that is our word of the day. Here we go over to our S&P 500 heat map. We had a day where it was up in the morning, down after that, and some of the things remained down. NVIDIA was down 2%. Meta tried to bounce and it was off a little bit. Google continues its rise. Consumer defensive was up, and Eli Lilly was the star of the day, up 3.35%. So if you are worried at all about a hard landing where your 401k turns into a 201k and you have to work 20 more years to earn that back, well, this might be something you might be interested in. As you can see, it beats index investing by about 5% per year. It goes up when the market goes up, does not go down when the market goes down. Goes up and up the stairs, gives you a lifetime income. And as you can see, the index bounces along with the market. So that is the story there. Let us move on to our charts. This is something that we're looking at. GE Vernova. It's one of the stock bright ideas mentioned in finance column. It has had a double bottom here. It has now cleared the double bottom, and we'll see if it can get into the pivot zone. So let us go to our dollar index. Dollar index continues to fall, continues to gap down here, gap down here. So silver and gold should be doing well. Here's a look at silver. It did gap up and then pull back today. Gold is near its highest levels ever. It has cleared all of these tops, so it is still in the pivot zone, but highest levels in its history. The copper index is pulling back a little bit. It filled the gap here. Take a look at uranium. Got a little bit of a bounce there, and our Denison mines is just in a little tight formation here at the bottom. We'll see if it does a bottoming formation and breaks out of that. Look at our bond yields, 10-year bond yield. Big move down again today. After a move down yesterday, bond yields are at 3.82% on the 10-year. In the 20-year, it's fallen down as well. It looks like people are buying bonds for safety as Treasury bond price continues to move up. It's up 0.8% today. S&P 500. It's pretty flat for the day. Equal weight, it's pretty close to about the same, down 0.40%. The NASDAQ is down 0.21%. And the equal weight in the NASDAQ is off 0.47%, a little further pullback. Small capitalization stocks were actually ended the day up yesterday, but they're pulling back today off over 1.17%, and the Dow Jones Industrials is pretty flat as well. Now let's go to the news. Sweden Central Bank lowered its key interest rate to 3.5 from 3.75 as expected, and said could speed up policy easing if price pressures do not pick up. So on to consumer news. Lowe's is a big mover for the markets today. Sells off, cut its full year guidance to $11.70 to $11.90 from $12 to $12.30. Lowers its full year 24 revenue view to $82.7 billion. Alaska Air and Hawaiian Airlines cleared a major milestone to combine two companies after the Justice Department opted against challenging the deal on antitrust grounds. Alaska Air is up slightly, and Hawaiian Air is up even more. See, it gapped up. Pull back over here to near the pivot, and then it gapped up here, up 11.34%. Food companies Kroger, Albertson, Campbell's, Kraft Heinz, and Mondelez are rebutting against claims it's ripping off U.S. customers after Democratic presidential nominee Vice President Harris called for a federal ban on price gouging. Price controls have never worked. I'm not sure why they can't see that their policies created inflation, but Kroger is off 1.36% today. Albertsons is off 0.81%. Campbell's, the soup company, is actually up today, 0.84%. Kraft Heinz is pretty flat for the day, off 0.2%. And Mondelez, a rebut, is up slightly, up 0.13%. On to Monster Beverage. Board authorizes a new $500 million share repurchase plan, and it is up 0.24%. XPeng. Quarter two EPS loss of 19 cents versus estimate loss of 18 cents, and they're off 6%. This Chinese electric vehicle maker. On to oil prices remain under pressure after tumbling over 2% Monday as hopes of a ceasefire in the Middle East have been keeping a lid on prices after U.S. Secretary of State Blinken confirmed that Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu accepted a proposal to address the disagreements that have been standing in the way of a deal. On to Boeing. Boeing shares slipped overnight after reports the company stopped test flights on the 777-9 as it awaits certifications of component between engine and airplane structure failed to perform during maintenance check. On to financials. Chinese online brokerage Futu Holding will look to develop its own overnight trading system for U.S. stocks. Founder and Chief Executive Officer Leaf Li told Bloomberg. Their stock initially went up, and then it sold off 4.49%. On to healthcare. AstraZeneca and Fasenra has been approved by China by the country's National Medical Products Association, or NMPA, for the maintenance treatment of patients 12 years of age and older for severe eosinophilic asthma, or SEA. Onto BioMarin. We did not type in all the letters. BioMarin is upgraded to outperform from market perform at Bernstein and raised the target to $110 from $94 as it gets close to 94, up 1.16. Chimera Therapeutics sold 5.5 million shares, or 225 million spot secondary, boosted from 200 million, reoffered at $40.75. And finally, in healthcare, Premier, quarter two adjusted EPS 69 cents versus 49 cents, initially sold off, and then it bounced back quickly, up 1.05%. On to technology, media, and telecom. Palo Alto Networks quarter four adjusted EPS $1.51, tops consensus of $1.41, and revenues rose 12% year over year. And their stock is up over 7% on that news. Look at this nice buying. Earnings came in at plus 5%. And also in the same sector is Fabrinet, which is our stock of the day, which is up a little over 15%. Huge volume. Earnings came in at over a 30% increase over year. And that is the story for the news today. So let's go. This is our ETF of the day in healthcare, up 0.4%. Fabrinet, we just looked at, was our stock of the day. IPO of the day was PEM. We did sell out of this after getting about a 20% profit. So that is the story with Tempest. Let us go round our robin, look up what was up 10% on 200% increase in volume. Fabrinet was number one. We looked at Hawaiian Airlines in the news, up 11%. And UBX Technology, China-based company, value-added services and products using AI-driven technology to insurance carriers, up almost 25%. That is a big move. So we'll take a look what we did with our account today. We got out of Brothers. We had a stop on Dutch Brothers. It fell below here. We got out. I'm looking at the wrong account here. We did add to Netflix today, another account that we manage as Netflix broke out of a cup with a handle formation. So we added another one of those. Just kind of been adding as it keeps running up. We did put on a bullish spread trade on Powell Industries. See where the spread is. We did a 175, 180 spread on 5 vertical spreads. We got into NMM as it had a powerful earnings report, gapped up. We got a tight stop on this as well. We did 100 shares of GE Vernova. Likewise, we put a tight stop, I believe was at 181. Continue to hold OS. IPO had pullback right around here and then bounce today. We added PayPal with a tight stop as it broke out today, broke out into the zone. So that was up a few dollars as well. We added Bull, another IPO. As it tends to break out of this pivot area. We added to App, added another 100 shares to App. And that is kind of where we're looking. EITX, looked at it a little earlier. It did come down, but it did bounce from the lower levels that it sold off at as it went up 1.7% for the day. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We're going to continue to watch the market. Did not look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA sold off and then bounced back. Well, it went down to 125. Yeah, 125.89 and then bounced back. Meta, which we have in another account, pull back about 0.5%. Looks like it may be doing a cup with a handle here. This could be the handle formation. Got a double bottom. Here's the one portion of the bottom. And see if it'll let me draw this. Comes up to the W. May have not undercut here, but it did undercut right over here. So it's kind of an odd shape. W. So it has definitely cleared this. Oh, looks like pulling back on a handle. For a handle, you look for anything 5 to 15%, and you want lower volume, and this is what we're getting. So we'll continue to watch that. Talked about Google. Google continues to recover after news of breaking up its component parts. So this is an odd shaped double bottom here. Comes right down to here. And then we got the undercut down to here. So it does have quite a ways to go to clear that middle of the W, which what you're looking for in double bottom. Amazon is holding up there. Looks like it could be a little bit of a wedging pattern, which you don't like to see. It's going up on low volume. Apple also is somewhat of a wedging pattern here, going up on really low volume. Microsoft. You know, all of these big cap techs are going up on low volume. This is why could be a head and shoulders top. I would just be careful in this area. Look at Tesla. Tesla is pulling back after clearing all of its moving averages here. Once again, pretty low volume on Tesla. Take a look at Eli Lilly. Got a nice bounce, and this is what you like to see when it goes up. Strong volume. And let's take a look at Netflix. Got some pretty good volume bars here and here. Getting pretty close to the pivot on the breakout. 697.59 is the breakout. Did bounce above that. Got up to 711.33 before it pulled back. Possibility it could develop a handle and pull back here and then go something like this. A lot of good news flowing at Netflix. So might be something you want to look into. But that is Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Go out there and support your favorite taco truck on Taco Tuesday. Remember, it's your responsibility to do your own due diligence to find out what works for you. In the meantime, have a great day. We'll catch you back here on Wednesday.